for her father's employment. She grew up a happy, carefree child, living within the Octedi staff compound, and often spoke about her childhood with such fond memories. Friends and family she mingled with and came to know while growing up, living in Taberville, would turn out to be lifelong friendships. From 1992 to 1997, Joy completed her primary school years 1 to 6 in Taberville Primary School. Joy moved back to Kopia in 1998 and completed high school years 7 to 10 at St. Paul's Lutheran High School, Pausa. In 2005, Joy moved to Bans, Jiwaka Province, as a boarding student to attend Father Peter Secondary School, also known as Fatima. In secondary school, she enjoyed the sciences and undertook biology and chemistry as part of her core subjects. She then moved to Port Moresby to live with her auntie Sandy Tameli for her tertiary education. From 2007 to 2011, Joy attended the Pacific Adventist University, enrolling in a Bachelor in Business program, majoring in accounting. It was at PAU that Joy met her beloved band of sisters. Their bond and friendship remained steadfast as they all entered the workforce, married, had children, and moved forward with life. In 2012, Joy, a new graduate, began her career with Bank South Pacific Finance and Planning team as a graduate accountant. Coming from humble roots, Joy worked hard and dedicated herself to her career, completing her CPA and becoming a certified professional practicing accountant by 2017. Joy loved her job. She often called it her garden. Her commitment and dedication led to her excelling at her job. She was a senior accountant with PSP Capital, holding the position of business controller at the time of her passing. In 2002, Joy, for the very first time, met her husband and the love of her life, Charles Campbell, during a rugby league game at Pausa High School, where Joy attended. Joy and Charles eventually married and moved in together in 2012, when Joy had just started to work for PSV as a graduate accountant. During the early years of their union, Joy selflessly helped to raise 5 of Charles' nieces and nephews. This was the nurturing, compassionate, and caring human being that Joy was. On the 11th of October 2012, Joy and Charles were blessed with a son, Riles Charles Kamba. Joy was a wonderful mom. Gentle, full of patience, slow to anger, and always encouraging and uplifting. Other children, including my own, were drawn to Joy because of her gentle spirit. On the 9th of November 2015, Joy and Charles were again blessed with another son, Riley Charles Kamba. Her boys, Riles and Riley, were her entire world. Joy planted in her sons a desire for learning and belief in education as the key to future success. She was deeply committed to every aspect of their growth, helping with homework, attending school assemblies, cheering them on at cultural shows. She was always there, proudly supporting them. She envisioned a future where her boys would embrace education, dream big, see the world, and achieve heights of success beyond even what she could have imagined for herself. I believe a lot of parents here today can identify with this. Last year, in 2024, Joy and Charles welcomed their daughter, Shalinda Denny Charles. Shalinda was born on the 18th of August 2006 and raised by Joy's sister, so Joy could complete a tertiary education. Shalinda only knew her mum for 11 short months, but knowing Joy, those 11 months would have been impactful. Joy was someone who cherished her close relationships. She always made time for people and had a way of making each of us feel special. She loved all her papas, her mamas, her brothers and sisters, her cousins, her tambos, and her aunties. She was especially close to her aunties, spending many of her school holidays in Port Moresby with her aunties Angie and Sandy, whom she affectionately called Are, which is auntie in the Anglian language. I remember Joy as a very hard-working young woman. From an early age, she understood her role as a woman within the family unit and the broader Papua New Guinean social context. She was obedient to her parents, respected and followed the advice of elders, cared for the elderly, and performed every chore diligently and without complaint. This is the firm foundation that set her on the path to success in life. As a valued member of our tribe and family, a respected colleague and employee, we remember Joy as a soft heart, kind, forgiving, and a very loyal friend. Joy enjoyed traveling and always wanted to see the world. I am glad that she lived to fulfill this dream. In her short time with us, Joy visited 4 continents and 7 countries, and she had the most memorable experiences. She visited the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Buckingham Palace, Golden Gate Bridge, traveled on cruise ships, and fed elephants, just to name a few. Of all her travel, her most cherished trip was taking her sons, Riles and Riley, on their first overseas trip to Brisbane in April this year. A memory I'm sure they will never forget. Aside from travel, Joy enjoyed cheering on her favorite team, favorite football team, the Broncos, taking her children to the movies and spending quality time with friends and family. Joy lived a full life with no regrets. Just before joining Hartford, she visited my family and me in Perth, Western Australia, a trip we had been planning for a very long time. I will always be grateful that she gave us the gift of her time and presence in the final week of her life. Since Joy married and I married, we had not spent this kind of extended time together. Yet it felt as though no time had passed. We cooked together, did chores together, went for walks, and talked for hours, just like we used to. Over that 1 week, she brought back to my memory all that she had taught me over the years. I recall 3 important lessons she reminded me of, which I vow to do better every day. 1, to be forgiving and patient, especially as a parent. 2, to be present. And 3, to take care of my health. Joy, we will miss your soft heart and your smiling face. You taught us to be kind, loyal, forgiving, and never to hold grudges. One of the last things you said to me was that our life is God's, it is not ours. And that you were going home, and I should not worry. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 reminds us that no one knows when their hour will come, and that in the end, we all share a common destiny. Our life and our end are ultimately in God's hands. Therefore, we must be glad, live our best life every day, wear our best clothes, eat the best food, and enjoy time with our loved ones, and do the work of our hands with all our strength and all our might, for this is the one life that God has blessed us with. Joy, it is my hope that someone today is inspired by the story of your remarkable life. Joy, my Kubanji, my sister and my best friend, you loved life and you lived yours fully. You were a rare gem, one of a kind, exclusive and irreplaceable. We thank God for the time we shared with you, and we will forever cherish the memories you have left us with. Heaven has gained an angel, and for that we are blessed. Until we meet again, may your soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
On behalf of the BSP Capital team, we would like to extend our condolences to the family of Lady Joy. Joy was with BSP Capital for almost 13 years. She joined as a junior accountant and she passed away, holding the position of the finance controller. It's a great loss to the company as well. She brought value to BSP and to our BSP Capital team as well. I'd like to share the team's tribute to Lady Joy and who she was with us all through the time that she spent with us. For our Joy from weekend. Late Joy was a genuine and grounded individual, admirable in her conduct and pursuit of a life of giving and sharing with all who she came across her path. At the workplace, she not only allocated her attention to work, but also shared time with colleagues, listening quietly and adding her input of suggestions or ideas in a unique, quiet, confident way. She rose to challenges, joining the BSP Capital team, and proudly wore a green uniform, embracing changes that came. Each morning, Joy would arrive with a flower tucked in ear. A simple gesture, but it brightened the entire office. It became something we all silently cherished. A small piece of beauty she brought with her every day. And her laughter, joy, still plays in our memories. It was a kind of laugh that would make you smile when you even realize it. Joy was generous in the purest way. She shared whatever she had without hesitating, never expecting anything in return. Whether it was food, something extra she brought from home, or something she thought that someone might need, she gave from the heart. She may not have known, but her help certainly went a long way in helping many people to put bread and butter on the table. Her generosity was effortless and genuine. In our little BSP Capital team, Joy was likened to a big sister to most of us. Her discipline, honesty, and a helpful character made her a vital member of our team, sometimes keeping us accountable with her gentle yet assertive ways, or caring for us by showing us which promo vitamins to take for many of our ailments. She motivated us all to aim high, sharing her dreams, aspirations, and accomplishments with a desire to better those around her. She would even sometimes encourage us, many of us, to join her in the promo business as a means to help gain a second income to help with finances through tough times. She seemed to have a remedy for everything and was always ready and willing to lend a helping hand to anyone that needed it. Joy brought a burst of energy to our team, sometimes even without saying a word. She walked into the office with bright new beautiful balloon or a flower or a lovely new hairstyle, and immediately our dull workplace seemed to fill with color. She was someone we could speak to about anything and not feel judged about it. That was her character. She was sincere, understanding, and compassionate. Joy's pillar of strength was definitely a family, whom she spoke highly of while at work. She loved her parents dearly and always made sure they were all taken care of, and she would always share this with us. As a wife, Joy showed respect to her supportive husband, conducting herself with self-respect in her speech, and encourage of her duties and interaction with others at all times. As a mother, Joy spoke proudly of her children, often sharing anecdotes of her sons. A few weeks before she traveled for a holiday, she spoke of the transition her eldest son would be making from primary school to Paradise College, and now a younger son was also asking if he could join his big brother. Just this year, she took her boys to Australia on their first international trip together. And Joy always happily shared these stories with us. Joy diligently planned the trip from start to finish to make it one of the most thoughtful and memorable trips for her and her children. Actions like these were just a testament that love and care she poured into her children and wider family and friends. It showed just what a wonderful person Joy was. Joy's passion for life was infectious, sharing her personal experiences of traveling, achieving personal and work goals by the testimony of how she lived. She was a positive influencer. Accepting that she is gone is one of the hardest things that we had to face. There are mornings when it feels like Good afternoon, distinguished guests, families, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Violet. I stand here today to represent our Proma ambassadors who are Joy's travel buddies and friends. Before I proceed to pay our tribute to our dear sister and friend, I also send tribute from friends that she has touched their life in Melbourne. Sylvain Moses sent a tribute. Kim Crackler in New Zealand. Annette, and from the Home Office in Australia, Deb and Jeff Winnington, Rachel and Derek Peters. We were all had travel buddies for all those years. It's a real pain, when the news reached all of us that we can no longer accept it and believe it. I'm here today to celebrate the life of my beloved friend, a sister, and a travel buddy. I've come to know late Joy Puppy 8 years ago. And we have been friends ever since. Or should I say, I am so lucky to have a friend like Joy in my life. Joy and I share the same birthday, and every time it comes to our birthday on the 22nd of November, we send each other birthday greetings. Where are you? What's up? What's the plan? And knowing Joy and the person she is, she'll come up with some exciting stories or things to say about how the birthday was going to be celebrated. We all love our traveling, and we've had cousin Sarah has mentioned the destinations that we have been to. Joy's love or heartbeat was travel. She loves traveling. Domestic, but most is the international travel, and we've traveled to London, to New Zealand, to Canada, to the US, and the recent one to Phuket. And when we returned back from Phuket, she extended her holiday to Perth. And that was the day I can remember so well when I sit back and I recall on the Sunday, the three of us came to the international airport and we said our byes, and she went on to domestic to continue her journey to Perth. Late Joy is known to us as our travel buddies, and she, in our friendship with all the ambassadors, she was known to us as our joyful Joy, or some would call her beautiful Joy. Like everyone who have already taken the pulpit to share, her name speaks volume of the person she is. She is a bundle of joy to be around with. She has an infectious personality and smile that draws people to her. She is friends to all, enemy to none. You would walk into the room and before knowing who is in the room, but just listening to the voice that echoes out in the room, you know Joy is present and she is there. Her life is full of colors. She loves life and makes the most of her life on this earth. She always puts others before herself. And I remembered we were still in Phuket at that time, and she said to me, "How many bags are you taking back home?" And I said, "I only got one suitcase." And she said, "Oh, thank you.
can you take one of my suitcases with you? And I said, not a problem. And that Sunday when we were coming back home, I met her and Isabel at Brisbane Airport, and I said, where's your suitcase? And she looked at me and she said, Isabel has a lot of suitcases to take back home, and I feel sorry that, she's got a lot to take back and it will be, she will access, so I left mine behind, so you can help her with her weight. And that's the person, the kind of person she is. She always put others before herself. And she was the kindest, the bravest, and the most selfless person we have ever known. I've always missed her infectious smile and unwavering optimism. Joy, you taught me so much about life, about resilience, and about how to find joy even in difficult times. Your winning personality taught us to live, to love, and love. And that's something I will never forget about you. The memories we shared together on our trips and our time spent together are the ones I hold onto tightly, and I know your travel buddies will also do the same. They bring you back to us, if only for a moment. We will always cherish those times we spent together. To my beloved friend, sister, and a travel buddy, your life was a blessing, your memory a treasure, your love beyond words and missed beyond measure. To Charles and the 3 children, I can only conclude by saying, that joy reflects the character of a woman in Proverbs 31. And I think we can all find peace in Proverbs 31 that joy have lived and fulfilled the role of a wife to Charles and mother to her children. And that's what we can always draw from. Goodbye is not forever. You are gone, but never forgotten. My dear friend, sister, and a travel buddy, may you rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Former workmates and everyone close to dearly to her. My name is Ruthia Zarota, and I'm one of Joy's friends from PAU. And I'm standing here on behalf of all our PAU friends to share a tribute of our dear beloved friend Joy. During our time at school, Joy had a small group of close friends that she spent time with. And those friends also had their own circle of friends from other groups. And over the years, Joy became a close friend to my best friend Sarah, and soon she became my close friend too, along with others in our current circle of friends. Through the shared friendships, we grew closer during our friendly years at PAU, studying together, helping each other through classes, cheering one another during exams, from the early morning bus rides to late night study sessions, sharing lunches and telling stories between classes. Even after we graduated and left university, we stayed connected, meeting up, catching up through lunches or at each other's homes, and planning group trips. These are the experiences and memories made over the years that have shaped our bond as friends and sisters today. And I like the quote that Joy had put on one of her statuses on her social media, was that friends are like stars. You may not see them all the time, but they are for sure always there. So when life got busy and we went on our own ways, career paths, families, We never lost sight of each other. We still connected through social media and our frequent group chats. There's so many memories and stories that we have, that we shared with Joy over the years that we always cherish. And throughout these years we've known Joy, it is consistent with what everyone has shared, is that she's always been there for people she cared about. Joy was cheerful, positive, full of life, and deeply caring. She was the kind of friend you could rely on for anything, always willing to go the extra mile to help. She's remembered for her very bubbly and soft-hearted personality, who had a positive outlook on life and can be straightforward at times, but we know that she always meant well. Back in 2017 was the day that was a time when we had planned our first trip overseas as a group of friends, and that was actually Joy's first trip overseas. And since then, Joy has traveled the world, definitely more than we have, exploring new places, learning about different cultures, capturing memories and photos, and sharing her adventures with us on her social page. She was truly a free spirit who embraced life fully. In our group of friends, she was the only one that never succumbed to peer pressure. Even
Thank you, MC. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. As we gather to honor and celebrate the life of our beloved Mono, your presence means so much to our family and to all of us about them. Mono was my soul sister. We called each other Mono, in language, and she truly was my heart. Our bond was something that we understood. A sisterhood chosen by love, loyalty, and deep connection. She was a remarkable woman in the prime of her life, full of purpose, strength, and promise. She had so much to offer her family, her work, her business, and even the country. She carried a rare balance in everything she did. She loved deeply, worked hard, dreamed big, and touched lives with effortless kindness. Every relationship she had nurtured, everyone she met felt valued. Mono's warmth, generosity, and beautiful spirit make the world around her bright. Moments we shared, even the short ones, are some of the greatest blessings of my life. She gave me a sisterhood many only dream of. But today her hearts are heavy. She leaves behind three beautiful children who will go without the mother. Their heart, their comfort, and their guide. And so we hold them with their Father in our prayers, and we wrap them in our love. May God be with them every day of their lives. May He also strengthen their parents who have lost their only daughter and child, a pain no parent should ever endure. Today we remember and honor an extraordinary woman, a loving wife, devoted mother, cherished daughter, treasured cousin, loyal friend, and my soul sister, my beautiful woman. Though your journey on earth has ended far too soon, your heart remains with us. The love, your strength, and the memories we shared will always stay alive forever. Rest peacefully, my soul sister and my honor, until we meet again. Thank you.
Joy, I first met at the university, even before she got married to a friend. think everyone has said Joy's life, how she live, how she relate to her friends, colleagues, family. You have all that, how she live. I have to say personal experience with her in my life. To me, she is one of the heavyweights. For Charles and me to carry the burden of our family and the tribe that we dearly love. Our wives are behind us, support us, and Joy is one of a kind. Joy is really one of the heavyweights that I'll deeply miss in the years to come, because the 7 kids that we have, Charles and me, she normally takes them out. And the kids will really miss her as well. Joy, your mother to the 7 kids that we love. Thank you for sharing your life with us during the short stay on earth. Well, God has planned that way, so we cannot question how God has taken you, but your memories will still remain with us. And thank you for sharing your life with us, and your family and friends and your kids will really miss you. With that being said, in our tribes, we have a few, we have a lot of wives, we call it, but some of them, we treasure them most because they are really our support system. I'm broke. I'll be broke forever. I don't know who will replace Joyce. Because this woman has been so supportive. Though we have a young family to go, but I can see my future very bright with her, but I lost her like that. Well, her visions, her aim, her dreams are still there. I will continue with the kids here lined up in front, right before their mother will manage it through the help of God. Thank you, Joy, for the life that you have given us. We have shared your life. When I first met her, we started in BSP together. We were employed by BSP as a graduate trainee, and then some of our colleagues that have come here to speak. We joined BSP, and then we made our ranks and files in BSP, and then I moved on, and Joy was still there, and she became one of the senior officers there, as their colleagues have mentioned. And then, yes, she's been very grateful in our family as well. She got her first home, and then BSP has been really grateful on her as well. And that was life.
Joy was not just an ordinary person. She was impactful. She had a charm. She nurtured all the relationships she had. And I can see that because Joy has passed on, that doesn't mean that all the beautiful relationships that she has created, don't think that Joy has left you. Joy's life and her joy is in her family. Her father, my cousin brother, Tapi, and Pea, her mom, they're here. And Tapi was not a man with who had been to formal education and acquired a qualification, but he was disciplined, he was caring, and of course, he was the first hairpin ever to get a job in formal employment. He worked for the Bougainville Copper, and later on he went to Octeli Mine in Hungary. So we look to him as an example, and I can see that Joy has carried on the relationship, the skills, the understanding, the care that his father had. And as a consequence, of course, we learn from the father, as you've all learned from Joy's life, what a beautiful person she was. And the thing is that with Joy and Charles, we've been planning their future in terms of connecting back to the village. So for Shaulinda, our granddaughter, Riles and Rayleigh, your mother and your father have had a plan, which was discussed fully. And before she passed on, I had discussed with her and her brother, Wesley, and Tapi and Leah about building for them. And it's because of what we discussed that we had organized space, we had bought materials, and all these materials that were to come for the construction of their new home all comes from Joy's mother's area. All the materials are set, everything was set, just like her cousin, Rihanna Pato, my daughter, my only daughter too, from my wife. She passed away, and they are so close. Joy and Rihanna are so close to each other. And she planned, and we were living in town. And then she built a house in the village, where Joy, in politics, of course, most of Joy's line and Charles's line, where she's married to, don't support me. Joy says, Father, these are my people. So she's been bringing them to our village. And we're the smallest, but we've had those our girls and our men. And Joy is, of course, one of less than 5 educated girls from this community, from one of the smallest tribes in Wapelmata district. And most of our guys are educated, but in terms of girls, she and the baby Brianna were some of the most educated girls that we were looking for a future for our life. So we are really sad that she has left us, but the impact that she's had, the connections that she's built, we would like to keep them on. And I would encourage you that where Joy is put to rest, you will have good access road, good accommodation, good facilities, although Chalinda will be waiting, Riles will be waiting, Ryan will be there, Charles will be there, I will be there, all our relatives and family will be there to remain connected to the relationships that Joy has built in life, the way her father has built us in our lives in the village, and then that was as a result of that, even myself became a leader of our people because of the way in which we've reflected an impact on the lives of other people as much as Joy does. We are actually at this point setting up some work in memory of Rihanna, and Joy's passing will enable us also, because he's passed on, the two sisters, we will do this work that we are doing to make sure that their legacy, their relationships carry on. So we are building community projects, and in due course, those that work with Joy will be reaching out to you to not to support us financially, but to advise with the work we are doing, so that with the should you wish some point in time to bring your families and relatives to visit a place where Joy is resting, visit Rias, Charlinda, or Riley, and you will know that this impact that she's had is being carried on behalf of the family. So on behalf of my line, the Devon tribe, I also want to thank the Anuns for taking the Milks. Milk is a big tribe. It's no match to my tribe, but they've really taken good care of children. And Charles, I also want to pay tribute and say thank you for this wonderful daughter of ours that is really taking great care of her, giving her all the respect and honor that her husband can give. You've been a fine example and a close friend to me and the mom and dad and us in the land with your Congress there and Joyce and Tapi and all your relatives here, aunties, Sandy and Angel and Sarah and Eamon and Sandy. We love you so much for all your support, for all your love, for all your care about that daughter, our only daughter. May God give her peace, and we shall no doubt meet her again on that day when the trumpets blow to welcome us back to the kingdom.